Hey guys, welcome back. Well, today I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing of this pretty cool looking Hubsan racer that I got in the mail here from it's an Amazon seller. I don't remember the exact name, but they basically just sell Hubsan products on Amazon. Now, I got this mounted on my head and I'm standing up here with my camera because I have trouble getting this in the view on when I'm sitting in my chair. So I hope it's not a little too distant for you guys, but whenever I'm doing it in my chair, I tend to get some of the items cut off and doing these unboxings and reviews. So we'll kind of see how this works with me standing. Anyway, like I said, this is the X4 Jet, which is the model number is H123D. I wouldn't really call it a racer, actually. I know I said that a moment ago. It's more of a quasi-racer, I guess you could say. I don't know what to call it. I did sneak a peek at Quadcopter 101's video because he was one of the few I saw had this in a quick glance. Some of the other channels are ones I don't really trust their opinion as much, but he's usually pretty knowledgeable and stuff. So anyway, this seems to be, like I said, kind of a quasi racer from what I've seen in his video and the limited research that I've done on this, because it doesn't really have full acro mode. It's not a beta flight flashed, F3 or F4 flight control, anything like that. It's just something this Hubsan's come up with. It does, however, have brush motors, and it has like a couple of different versions of, I don't know, like a horizon mode and a weird, goofy, I don't know what you even call the other mode. It's really bizarre. But anyway, let's take a quick look at the box. You can see it comes with a FPV screen built in on the controller, kind of pretty common for Hubsan products. And it just has some specs on the side here. It does take an SD card, which lets you record what I've seen from a really nice video. Not a lot of, in fact, no jello, but also a good color, nice quality camera that I saw this. It's a 720p camera. It's a 7.6 volts with the lithium ion high voltage 2S LiPo. And it gets good flight time too. It looks like, I think it got over 7 minutes in the video I saw. And the 360 flips and rolls, that is again doing that goofy horizon mode that this thing has. I'll just try to discuss that a little bit more, especially once I get to the flight review. But it is super fast. For a 2S LiPo, it hauls, I'd say 50-60 miles an hour easy. I believe it does have a carbon fiber frame, so it won't bust real easy. So there's a lot of pluses about this, but the fact it's not a real true acro racer is going to limit this down to more of an FPV trainer. If you want something really fast, if I could say it, really fast to fly FPV, this looks like it's probably going to be a pretty good choice. Though I want to get up and fly it, of course, to give you my real honest opinion on it. But this is not going to be an acro trainer. In fact, it's not even, like I said, it's not even good for horizon mode because it seems to be sort of a sloppy flipper because of the odd controls. Let's go ahead and open the box up. Like you see, I've not even broken the seals on it, so I don't know anything about what's inside here except for what I saw in the one video on Quadcopter 101. So go ahead and pull these tabs out here. Let's open it up. Now, this is not a cheap drone. It's brushless motors. I think it sells for $170 on Amazon. But I'm pretty excited about it. Here it is. Oh, it's lightweight. Get your antenna to pop up here. It uses a red JST and has a balance. I think this is probably on the battery here. Actually, yeah, the battery Velcro is in here on the top. Let's go ahead and take the battery off. If I can get this Velcro to come. It's not a very big battery, but this guy's he's a little smaller than I envisioned in the video. I guess I got an impression this drone was a little larger. This thing will fly. I mean, this thing really hauls butt. But you can see it's a lithium ion high voltage 980 milliamp hour. 7.6 volt, that extra 0.2 tenths over the 7.4 tells you that, of course, this is a lithium ion high voltage. You can definitely charge with the hobby grade charger, the red JST balance plug 2S. You're going to charge this way faster and get a more accurate charge than whatever they're going to include in this. Got tri-blade props and these little brushless motors. I don't know the KV. I don't think Hubsan even gives out that information. You see carbon fiber frame. And it's got these little plastic covers, which I think are on the ESC, so it looks like it's got independent ESCs on each arm. It's a little clear sticker to take off the camera. Always remember you do that. I'm going to do it right now, so you don't end up leaving it on there during the video. And it uses 5.8 gigahertz analog, so you can use this with a pair of Fat Sharks or any other knockoff or even box goggles. So you're going to be able to fly by FPV, but you want to fly with goggles. From what I've seen, you want to fly this guy just in stabilized mode, which would be angle mode. You don't want to try to fly this in the other goofy modes it has, because you'll crash it. It just seems like the controls are weird. It's like whenever you get in this other modes, like it kind of leans and then it wants to go back and stabilize. Like it has like delayed controls. I don't know if they were hoping that would teach people kind of how you start to learn acro. I don't know. In horizon mode, it's just, it finally decides to flip, and it does. It looks like it probably won't be super easy to do. You should be able to do it line of sight, but doing horizon mode with this, with the goggles, is going to lead to crashes. So, but just for an FPV flyer in full angle mode, this is going to be a blast. You fly this around just about anything. It's just if you want to do acros and flips and then coming through a tunnel or fly through a warehouse, if you're someone experienced like that, you're not going to be flying this thing. But if you want to fly at acro, just learn a little acro, this is obviously not going to be the racer for you. If you want to fly FPV really fast and you need stabilization, this I think is going to be quite a good choice, and from what I've seen. So you got a box of accessories here. If I can get the stuff out, everything in here. This is going to be your charging stuff. Let's see what's in here. Hopefully this is staying within the field of view. So I've not done too many standing up ones, so I don't know if there's stuff in here I'm not getting into the video because of where I'm holding it, so bear with me, guys. But sometimes these unboxings, like, geez, just trying to get stuff out of the box, and I feel like you'd waste half the video trying to pull stuff out. Here's a full set of extra tri-blade props, which, if you fly this in other modes like Horizon, there's a good chance you're going to crash. You're probably going to need new props. If you fly FPV and you're decent in FPV in angle mode, you'll probably be okay. These are the sunshades to put on the controller to cut down on the glare. Here is the controller. The controller actually is pretty large. It feels nice. Now, having these screens, I don't think FPV, flying solely FPV using this screen is going to be really very well. Even with the reduced glare, you have to look down at it, you look at your hands, and obviously FPV, that's not a big deal, but it's just going to be much better to set of goggles on your head. But then again, I said flying with goggles, you just have to fly in angle mode. But you got a switch here. I think this is for recordings or something like that. I forget. And this one I know is for those modes, angle mode, and then the first horizon type. I call it horizon type. It doesn't actually flip. I think all the way down is the mode that will let you flip. This middle one I think was where it kind of does these goofy, it drifts around and lets you it's slower to auto level. Now, I believe there's some software that they released to let you tune this, so maybe this stuff is not fully accurate, since that review I watched was 6 months ago. So it may be that you can actually tune that stuff a little bit better now. I don't know for sure. And I know there's probably some firmware upgrades for this. There's the USB port here on the side, which I imagine you plug this in here, and that lets you flash the firmware. So I don't know too much about that stuff right now. You put your antennas on here, and those are going to be somewhere in here. I think it has a patch and a flip antenna, and I don't know what kind of how many batteries it takes. It may take looks like it takes some AA's. Probably won't last too terribly long with the screen. I'm going to fly it, mostly line of sight. I'll use some of the screen here. I probably won't do much FPV flying in the review. If I do any FPV flying where it's a lot of FPV flying, I'm going to come back with a pair of my goggles and try to fly it that way in angle mode. But Hubsan stock controller, it is pretty big. It looks like it's got a USB and it's got an SD card slot on the side here, so I guess you could record the video feed coming in. In fact, that might be where it goes. I thought it went on the drone itself. Like I said, I didn't look at every little thing. I guess that's what it is. I thought that the SD card went in the drone itself, but I didn't really look closely. Probably so. You probably do record it here. The 5.8 gigahertz won't have the kind of like frame dropping or anything that Wi-Fi would have. So you're going to record that feed, I believe, with the SD card right here in the side. No altitude hold, of course, which is good for something that's sort of a quasi racer. You don't want any altitude hold type gimmicks on something like this. That would totally ruin the experience. Here's like a instruction manual for it. It tells you all the stuff. Like I said, I think the antennas are going to be here on the other side, along with probably a charger and battery related stuff. Yeah, here's your antennas. So you've got your flip antenna here and your patch antenna. This looks like an extra battery. Very nice. I noticed that Quadcopter 101 had 2 of them in his, so you can get, you could get over 14 minutes flight time between 2 batteries. That's really nice. They included an extra battery because, this is sort of a unusual small 2S LiPo size. So I'm glad they included extra ones. And here's your charger. This ought to be a decent charger. If you don't have a hobby grade, this will get the job done. Since it's charging out the balance port, it'll at least balance it. It's just going to be a lot slower than a hobby grade charger. So I think that's everything in the box. Looks like there's a nice screwdriver included too. Nice little Phillips screwdriver, a little cap on the end of it. That's kind of nice. Alright, well, I think that kind of covers all the stuff that's in the box. And I went over a lot of things that I noticed, from what I saw. So probably a little more than a regular unboxing, but it's also not going to be necessarily a full review because I haven't had a chance to turn anything on just so you see how this guy flies. But he's pretty small. I don't know why I get the impression this drone was at least several inches larger in the video. I guess I just did not pay attention, and I was also viewing it on my phone. I thought he said the video TX is 25 milliwatt. I don't know on that. I imagine it's probably switchable. Again, I don't really know, but boy, this thing really moves. Like I said, I'm guessing 50 to 60. That's just my guess. It is not full racer speed, but those usually flying on at least 4S LiPos. And this is only flying on a 2S. So if I find out more information like the KB and the motors, I'll include that in the full review. The weather, it's going to snow this weekend. The weather's either windy, rainy, or snowing, and I just can't get anything up in the air. So when I finally get a chance to review it, I'll have more details. That's not going to probably be for a few weeks. And hopefully spring will start to come and we'll get this stuff up. And you guys can see the good video quality, how fast it is. If I can tell you right now, if you watch my video and watch other videos, you want something that can really fly fast, and you need stabilization, and you want to fly FPV by goggles or use the controller, which isn't going to be as good. This, I think, is going to be a really good choice. But if you want something that can fly acro, or you want an acro trainer, then this is not going to be a very good choice for you. I think it's around 170 bucks on Amazon, a little pricey. But it is pretty dang fast, and like I said, it is well built. You're not going to crash it in the ground and bust it because of at least not easily, because of the carbon fiber frame. Alright guys, well I think that covers everything for this unboxing. I appreciate you tuning in and checking it out. Like I said, I'll try to get more things in the air as soon as the weather cooperates. Probably have a little less unboxings and just do more all-in-one reviews and flights, but I can't, the weather's not cooperating. So be sure to subscribe, guys, if you're not a subscriber, because I appreciate that, and press the bell so you know whenever I do upload a new video. We just reached 1 million channel views, which was really exciting for me, and I had a first video reach 100,000 views, which is a little RC Transformer car. Can't believe that's reached 100,000 views. And as always, guys, have a great day.
The power of the dark side.